Hey everyone, I'm Ryan, and I'm the student lead on this project, and we're making a pirate game. We're making this game for the Oregon Game Project competition this year, and this year's theme was journeys. So we decided to, of course, make a pirate game, as pirates typically go through a journey in many ways, like exploration. One of the many reasons we decided to pick this idea was to challenge ourselves. We want to work hard and earn our place at the top of the rankings. Pirate games are one of the best game genres, but also one of the most commonly messed up games. You have games like Skull and Bones or Sea of Thieves. Some of these games do a great job at some aspects of a good pirate game and don't do so well in the others. We'll get into these games in a second. But what are the aspects that make a good pirate game? Well, we have found 4 main pillars that make any game a great pirate game. For the first pillar, we have combat. Whether it's on foot or between ships, combat in a pirate game needs to feel juicy. It needs to feel reliable, satisfying, and fast enough to keep the players engaged. Sword fights, pistols, cannon fire, and boarding, these are all actions that the players expect, and if it doesn't feel good, the whole fantasy of being a pirate suffers. The second pillar is exploration and navigation. A pirate game needs a world worth exploring. Islands, ports, hidden coves, and shipwrecks. Places that feel unique and reward curiosity. The ocean shouldn't just be water. It should be a path to discover. Navigation and exploration are core to the genre, and we want players to feel like every direction holds something new. The third pillar to a good pirate game is progression and customization. We want every journey to feel personal. That means letting the player customize their ship, their crew, and their playstyle. A good pirate game should let the player grow, not just in power but in identity, shaping the kind of pirate they want to become. The final pillar to a good pirate game is atmosphere and world building. A pirate world needs personality, flourishing ports, dangerous seas, stories of lost treasure, characters with history. It all needs to feel alive. When players step into this world, they should instantly feel like they are living that era. That atmosphere should do half of the storytelling on its own. If there are so many pirate games, how come most of them fail and flop? There's a couple of reasons, but the main one is it's extremely hard to get a game that does good in all 4 pillars. Really, only AAA games can get close to succeeding in all 4. Skull and Bones is mainly called a flop, as it was in development for over a decade and still came out with poor performance and little in the story. Skull and Bones was meant to be based off Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which we are going to get into later, but Skull and Bones took the best parts of Black Flag and just threw them out the window and slapped multiplayer on it. While Skull and Bones has fun combat, it still is at the cost of it being far too easy.
Up next, we've got the godly Sid Meier's Pirates. This is commonly known as the best pirate game. While it lacks severely in graphics, it makes up for in gameplay, and makes a great sense of being a pirate. Sid Meier's Pirates promotes heavily on the exploration aspect of being a pirate. Every town in Sid Meier's Pirates is not visually distinct, but is distinct in the only way that truly matters, and that's how it affects your gameplay. Each town affects the gameplay in a different way, causing the player to have a very fun system of keeping track of all the towns and exploiting them for resources. Alright, so now we got Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Black Flag is a go-to single-player pirate game that mainly focuses on great combat, but it lacks severely in the exploration aspects. While each island looks completely different, they all function completely the same in gameplay, so they all have the same quests. But hey, nothing can beat that so perfect sea shanties.
Soon we'll be walking her out through the locks. Way, hey, roll and go, where the pretty young girls all come down in their frocks. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a polo, heave away. Hey, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored. To be rollicking randy dandy, oh.
One of the best things that Black Flag does is the vibes. Nothing can beat singing sea shanties while listening to the waves crash on your boat in the middle of the night. Black Flag nailed the pirate feeling and brutality, and that is why it's commonly known as one of the best and main single-player pirate games. Alright, so now I got Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves perfectly keeps the go-to pirate feeling. The PvP in this game is beautiful, with the combined strategies of Sid Meier's Pirates and the mechanical skill needed for Black Flag. One bad thing this game does is that there's pretty much no reason to go explore until the game puts a big beacon on your screen telling you where to go. Most of Sea of Thieves islands are bland and not really special at all. Oh, but they do have that godly boarding. When you get aboard a ship, it makes you feel like the main character. Every cannonball that you hit, every ship that you board, every screaming 10-year-old just makes the combat feel so much better. And that's why Sea of Thieves is predominantly called one of the best pirate games ever made. The main takeaway from this is that you want to feel a real sense of freedom as a pirate. Not just freedom to sail anywhere, but freedom to choose your own path, make your own decisions, and shape your identity in the world. A good pirate game constantly reminds you that you're not tied to a kingdom, a commander, or a mission. You're carving your own journey with the tools and risks you pick. But why does this all matter? Well, after studying all these games and breaking down what works and what doesn't, we decided that we're not going to follow the typical formula in every pillar. Most games rely heavily on managing a huge crew, running long voyages, and doing repetitive tasks that make you feel like a pirate, but we're not going to do that. Instead of giving the player a crew to micromanage, we're focusing on high levels of customization for both the player and their ship. Your ship isn't just transportation, it's basically your character in this game. The way it handles the weapons it carries, the upgrades you choose, and even the way it looks will change the entire playstyle. We're putting most of our energy in the two pillars that we think makes a game stand out most, and those are exploration and combat. Those are the pillars we want to push as far as we can and with the time we have in our team size. So here's what we got so far. First of all, we have a fully functioning prototype for the ship-on-ship movement, art, and combat with cannons. Second of all, we have combat as foot as well, with player movement, sword combat, and blocking. Next, we have a fully functioning inventory system, like one that you would see in Minecraft, but we're probably going to change this later on to a system more like in Minecraft Dungeons, where you have like a main weapon slot and then 2 or 3 side slots for abilities. We've got simple enemy movement, health, and attacking. Like some of our previous projects, we want the enemies to work on a component system so that we can just piece them together like Lego sets. This might take a little longer to code, but in the long run, it's going to allow us to create far more enemies. So that's about it for this video. But if you liked what you saw, make sure to check our previous project, The Beauty Planet. This project was made for the Oregon Game Project competition last year and won us this in our school the Management Award. It's only about 45 minutes of playtime, but it's still pretty fun. So you can go check it out on itch.io right now. Or if you want to see the trailer, I'll link it in the description. We'll be trying to put out these videos around twice a month, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. See you next time.